Hey everyone, Dale here from AirsoftTrader, the original founder and creator of the platform from back in February 2016, over 10 years ago. Can you believe it's been 10 years since AirsoftTrader was released? I can't. But it's been a long 10 years and a lot has changed. And I first want to just say thank you to the community for supporting the platform, supporting the service. And I'm just happy that it's received well and you guys are still using it after all these years. I want to cover it in this video. It's a little easier just to show you things rather than just like writing an article or writing a post on Facebook. Show you what we've done, what's coming, what's been done, what you guys will have access to, and basically just do a walkthrough. So what we're going to cover, we're going to cover AirsoftTrader and the rebuild and the rebrand, what we're migrating from AirsoftTrader to the new service, how you can get started, what's coming next with the new service, and feedback from you guys as well. Because again, at the start, when I released AirsoftTrader, the feedback from you guys was invaluable in building that community and building that platform that we all needed back in the day. And I'll say it's still been serving the community strong all this time. But one thing which I wish I could have done back in 2016 was a mobile app. Well, as we know, most of us are on our mobiles all the time. And back then, development costs for building a mobile app, if you didn't have the skill set to yourself, was significantly expensive. And for a hobby site, just again, there's no profit in AirsoftTrader. It was there to basically help the community because again, I saw at the time that fragmented user base that we had with the forums. There was no central area where airsofters across New Zealand could come together and sell to the community and sell to each other. So that's why I wanted to build. Let's cover what's happening. So first of all, the rebrand is called TradeSoft. So TradeSoft's going to be the new marketplace for airsofters. Not just going to be New Zealand. That'll be later on, but we're focusing on New Zealand market right now. And we have, like I say, a mobile app, both for Android and iOS, and we have a web app as well. So if you're used to using the AirsoftTrader website online, just on your computer, you can still continue to do that. But if you're a user that likes to use everything on your mobile phone, you'll have those options available to you as well. Rebuilding the app under a new brand has essentially allowed us to move away from the stuff that wasn't great with AirsoftTrader, some of the decisions we made 10 years ago, to what we're going to make now moving forward. So that's one of the key reasons why we've done a rebrand, and also to give you guys a much better service. Now, again, 10 years, there's a lot of data over 10 years. So what are we actually bringing across? Because, you guys, myself included, we all have like trading history, all our feedback, stuff like that, our listings. There's a lot of stuff on the old system, what's actually coming across. So we do have a page on our website. If you go to ASD migration, we do cover what's being moved across from AirsoftTrader to TradeSoft. Key things are active listings. So if you had a listing on the website on the 21st of July, 2026, that was active, I think it's about 180, 190 active listings at that time, they've been migrated across. Your primary photo from each listing has been migrated across. So if you did have multiple photos, only the one photo has been migrated across, but you can upload new photos to your listings, again, either in the mobile app or in the web app. So if you want to edit and update those, you can. We're obviously bringing over the trader behind each listing, all the user profiles and feedback history, again, which is pretty much the important thing, is I think there was close to 2,000 feedback across the community over the last 10 years. So, there's a lot of feedback, and that's all been retained in your profiles. Now, to get access to your account, it's quite straightforward. You just create an account using the same email address that you use for your AirsoftTrader account, and that will sync things up when you log in to your account. If you used social media to log in, such as I know we had like the Facebook and the Google login for AirsoftTrader, if you use the same email address that was tied to those social media profiles, again, your account details will sync up. Now, what we're not bringing across is obviously your existing passwords. We're not bringing across any of the private message system, because what we've built is completely new. We're not bringing over your watch lists and saved listings. We're not bringing over any sold, archived, pending, or draft listings either. And we're not bringing over the verification states that we currently had with AirsoftTrader. Now, there's a key reason for that, which I'll dive into shortly. But essentially, we are going to move the verification of users in two different ways. Actually, no, we'll just go into that now. So we have we have a few systems in place to help combat, obviously, the biggest issue that we have with any sort of online community and trading online, buying and selling, is obviously the risk of scammers. It's unfortunate, that's just the way humans are, and there's only so much you can do to fully mitigate that. Massive platforms can't deal with it, so we have to basically hand it to the community to deal with it themselves. Now, we've got a few things in place. We have got mobile phone verification. It's optional, but if you want to verify your phone number with your platform, you can do that. You'll get a phone verification badge on your profile just to show that you're a real user with a real mobile phone. We have email addresses are all validated, so you can't just sign up without having a valid email address like you used to be able to do on AirsoftTrader. We have what we call our scam scan system, which is our integration with Google, so that every time an image is uploaded to the platform, either as a listing image or in the private messages as well, it goes through a back-end check to make sure that image isn't used anywhere else online. If Google find that image elsewhere, it gets flagged, and then that gets reported back to both the users on the front end and also to the listing owner. They can, appeal that flag, such as if it's a stock photo, or if they're selling something on another website, they can appeal it. But you, as the user, will see that flag on the actual listing to let you know that, hey, this image is being used elsewhere online. And then finally, which is, I think, the biggest thing, is our club verification. So this is where essentially, if you're a member of an Airsoft club in New Zealand, you're a member there, the club themselves have verified you, they've got your details, and then the club will have a dedicated area on the platform where they can log in and basically say, hey, this user is a member of our club, and you get a club validation on your listing, your profile, just to say, hey, you're a member of that club. So that way, if anyone's trading with you, they know that you're a real player in the community and you're part of whatever club you're a member of. So that's some of the reasons why we've changed over to a new platform. Again, we've built a whole bunch of new stuff and functionality into TradeSoft. So those are the key things that are migrating across and what's not migrating across and why those decisions were made about that. If you want to read more about that, again, you can go to the website, go to the AST migration page, and all the details are there. So getting started, iOS app is available on the App Store. If you go to the website, click on download on the App Store, it will take you through to the App Store where you can download the app. Again, you can search for the app on the App Store by searching for TradeSoft, Airsoft Trading New Zealand, and that'll bring it up. This is the icon, this is the images, just so you can see what it is. You can download that to your mobile phone. For Android, it's a little bit different. We have to go through a 2-week review process. Again, iOS wasn't exactly quick either, but the way Apple review apps is a little different. But with Android, essentially you have to have a minimum number of users actually using the app in internal testing before you can then apply for it to be going onto the public Play Store. So if you're an Android user, which we know about 60% of our user base actually are, you will need to click on the Get on Google Play. This will actually take you through to an opt-in form. So basically what happens is you fill out this form, we get these details, and then periodically, pretty much every day, we're going to be uploading these details to our Google account to then send invites to you guys to then download the app onto your mobile phone. And then once it's been a couple of weeks, once we've had enough users using it for a couple of weeks on that, we can then apply for that to be published on the actual Google Play Store for general downloads without having to go through this testing flow first. Just for clarity as well, the Google account email that you can be different to your actual login to the platform. So if you have an account on AirsoftTrader, don't worry that you've got to use the same email address. Like if your Google account's under a different email, that's absolutely fine. It's just we need an email address that's with Google so we can then send you that invite. Okay, so let's take a quick look at actually getting started with the app. So again, if you do have an iPhone, you can download the app already and create your account and get started. If you have an Android, you can send the invites, but you can also log in via our website. So there's 2 ways of doing this. Basically, we need to sync your new login credentials with your existing account. And to do that, if you're on the iPhone, if you're on the mobile app or the Android app and you want to get started, when you go to sign in or don't have an account, sign up, you want to do is create your account. And you're going to use the same email address that you use for your AirsoftTrader account. You're going to read the terms of service and policy. And click continue. It's going to send you an email with a 6-digit code, which you then need to enter basically to verify your email address. Cool. So once you've verified your email address, you can then go through and complete the setup of your account. So you can set yourself a password. You can set yourself a profile picture, your display name. So this is what's publicly available. Your email address isn't shown anywhere. You can set your home region, and this will be used for like some of the location stuff in the app. So again, it doesn't use your exact location. We want to attribute to like where you're near. So if you're near a town or near a region, so that way when we show listings to you, it's a little bit easier. You can then go through and verify your phone number if you want to. Again, this is optional, but it will give you a phone verified badge on profile and listings. And then once you're in the app, essentially what we have is 5 core areas at the bottom. We've got home, browse, sell, messages, and profile. So our homepage will basically show us or show users any featured ads that are on the platform. As you know, on AirsoftTrader, we had featured ads in the header of the page up here, and then we had the listings underneath. With the new mobile app, we have the homepage, which will contain featured ads, and then when you go to browse, we will then have the different categories broken down as well with listings. If you go to browse all, then you can just start scrolling through the listings on the app. And if you want to take a look at a listing, again, you can just tap on the listing and it will take you into that listing. So again, this is actually a good example of one of the images that have been flagged. This is clearly a stock image. And as a user, like we're seeing, hey, caution, photos found on other sites. If you tap on the prompt, it will tell you, the information about that and where that image has been found. Again, listings are very similar to AirsoftTrader. We've got the title, pricing, details about the listing. We've got questions and answers. Again, this is all public. And then we've got user information as well. And you can then message the seller if you're interested in buying it. So if you click on message seller, it will pre-populate a message if you just want to click send, but you can enter your own message here and now then open communication with the seller. One thing actually we've done in terms of like the feedback system that we've improved is that if you message a seller on the platform, and then that seller marks an item as sold, they can choose who they've sold that item to. So they can choose anyone that's messaged them about that item, or they can mark it as sold offsite. And if they choose someone that's messaged them about that listing, it ties the relationship between the two of you as the buyer and the seller. And that way, when you leave feedback, it's actually tied to that sale. So it's a better feedback system than what we had on AirsoftTrader, which was basically you go to someone's profile, leave them a feedback on their profile, and there was no actual like trade associated with it. So you can like see if it was legit or not. So that's like the listings area. And again, we can search, filter by regions and stuff like that. We've got more search and filtering options coming. Again, mobile app is a little bit dated because it lags behind the web app, but I want to show you essentially what we got on here. When you go through to sell, again, it's a very similar sort of process that we have at the moment with AirsoftTrader, where you can go through, pick your category, fill out your details, add up to 7 photos, review your listing, and then publish it. We have a messages area, obviously, as well. That's all in here. Profile, we have obviously the ability to view your own public profile. We've got notifications area, and that is basically any in-app notifications get sent here. If you have any sort of like questions or ask questions on your listings, if you're invited to be a member of a club, a bunch of stuff will come up here in the notifications. You've got like the ability to edit your profile, my listings, your listings you've purchased. So again, this is another thing that we've added in that doesn't have on AirsoftTrader. And again, that ties back to when the seller marks something as being sold. If they mark you as the buyer of that item, that will show up in here. And again, if you then want to leave feedback for that seller, you can go in here and do that, or just look at what you've purchased in the past. We've got a watch list, bump credits. Bumps are something new that we've added in. So this is where, like, if you want to bump a listing, say you've got a listing on a site, obviously new listings come in, so it gets pushed down. You can bump that to the top of the queue, just so again it gets more visibility. Push notifications. So this is basically, we recommend enabling push notifications. And if you do, we will send notifications to your mobile phone when things come through. So that includes things like someone sending you a message. It will come through to your mobile phone, even if you haven't got the app open. And that way, you're not going to be missing messages from users when you're trying to sell stuff. Similar for like questions on listings and answers and stuff like that. We've got a bunch of stuff in here that you can granularly turn on and off based on what you want to get notified about via the push notifications. Again, that works on both Android and iOS. If you want to set phone verification again, so if you didn't do it in the intro, when you got onboarding, you can do that here as well. And blocks users, again, we have to have this functionality as part of like a community platform, but if you're being harassed by a particular user, by a message or something like that, and you want to block someone, you can block that user. Now, blocking users, for the scammers here, if you're a scammer, blocking users isn't going to prevent them from leaving you negative feedback if you scam someone. So we have thought about that and how we can prevent that kind of abuse from like potential, bad actors. But essentially what happens when you block someone is they can no longer send you messages, but if you have a trade with them, you can still leave feedback for each other, and that feedback is still visible, which is, I think, important. And then some other areas here, we've got, obviously about TradeSoft, we've got a feature request area. This is basically the ability to go in and vote for features into the platform. If you have a suggestion or something that you want to see, you can add that here, and then other users can vote for that. So this is going to be one of the ways that we see what our community actually wants once we've kind of finished building the platform up, and then go from there. So that's the mobile app. Like I say, it's pretty straightforward. Have all the key functionality that the AirsoftTrader has plus more. And as you start buying and selling it here, you'll see more features as those options are available in the app. Now, with the web app itself, if you were an Android user, for example, and you needed to log into your account because you haven't got access to the Android app right now, what you can do is actually do the forget password routine. So if you forgot, essentially you're going to sync up your account this way. So you're going to use forget password, you're going to enter your email address, it's going to send you that same 6-digit code, which we know we did when we went through create the account, and then you can use that 6-digit code to then finish your password, and then go to your profile, and then you can go through and edit your profile details. You won't have the same onboarding flow because you won't go through that account like creation process where you can then say like profile image, your location, that kind of stuff. That will have to be done manually in your profile, but this will at least let you get access to your account by giving you a password. Okay, so let's show you the actual web dashboard again, because I know there will be a number of users using this here as well. Cool. So the web app for TradeSoft, similar to the mobile app. We have some more features in the web app that we don't currently have in the mobile app. That's just, again, because we can iterate faster on that. One of the things is obviously events. So part of the community stuff that we're doing is an events area. Clubs have a management area dashboard, which their club managers will have access to. This is where they can manage their members, manage their club details. We do have like a club profile page. And also they have an events area where they can create recurring or one-off events, manage those events, and also create, it'll have like an event page that goes with that. And any events will like show in here. And so if you are, you can look for events in your area, what upcoming events from different clubs are available. And yeah, essentially the idea here is that we try and have like a central area. We know that one of the pain points for clubs is that, you've got Facebook, you've got different forums, you've got different websites that you want to advertise your events on, and having all that basically is protracted in different areas and filling out different here, there, and the other. It's just time consuming and a bit of a pain. Unfortunately, it's not possible to integrate with Facebook for this. It'd be perfect if you could just create an event on Facebook and then use that event anywhere else. Unfortunately, they stopped that. I think it was 2018, I think, from memory, where they basically severely limited their API abilities to either populate events or pull events. But what our plan is essentially is to have the events created here in TradeSoft, and then we give you a embeddable widget for your website. So if your club's got a website, you can embed a widget on your website, which will then pull through your latest club events and upcoming events and stuff like that, so users can see that, and then also give an API access so that if you're a bit more technical and you want to embed events into your system, let's say you've got your own community or club system that's a bit more in depth than just a normal website, you'll have the ability to use the API to pull events either for like all clubs or specific clubs, that kind of stuff. So that's what we've kind of planned in that, but the website at the moment will have events as they're created by clubs in here. But yeah, main page, just to recap, we have our featured listings on our main page and upcoming events. Browse is essentially the same as the browse on the other page in the mobile app. where we have all the listings on here. We do have slightly different filtering options. You can filter by price, distance away from you, verified sellers, all this kind of stuff. We have these filtering options will be making their way into the mobile app as well. Again, so if you go into a listing on the web app, again, you'll get flags, if the image is potentially stock. And again, if you click on that, it will show you a bunch of details about where that image is flagged. You can do all the messaging in the web app as well. So, you want to message the seller. We do have the messaging system all built into the web app. We have the community area, which is a little bit different, which we don't currently have on the mobile app, which again, this is one of the things that we have coming. So clubs and events. At the moment, we have 25 clubs on here. Some of these clubs we've reached out to all these clubs. So just give context to every user. We have reached out to everybody, but we're not forcing this. It's really going to be down to the community, the players, whether or not you want your club actually vouching for you as a user. So some of the clubs have been responded positively. We have not had anyone respond negatively, but we just had no response from a number of clubs. So if you, the player, are a member of a club, get onto your club and we can get them set up, and then they can add you as a member and validate you. So again, we've got this testing club here, just as an example. The testing club has a profile page, so they'll have a header image, we have the logo, details about the club, the website, contact and email, phone number if applicable. They can enter some details about the club. We have a list of the members, any listings tied to that club, and any events as well for tied to that club will show in here. We have a overall feedback rating for that club, which again is based on the members of that club. Again, the idea here is to get an idea of who members are in the community, what clubs they belong to, are they a trustworthy person, are they vouched for by somebody else. That's the whole purpose of what we're trying to do with the community and this club functionality. And again, just try and bring a bit more of a central area for users to find out, what they're buying and selling in Airsoft, what events are coming up, where that's going to play in their region, that kind of stuff. And then, again, events. We don't have any events set up at the moment in here, but if we did, we'd have events here. You can select, let's say you want to check for a specific month, like next month, for example, we want to see what events are there. You can go ahead and filter that, or you can filter by regions. Let's say you're going to be traveling and you want to know, hey, what game's going to be in Gisborne next month? You can filter by Gisborne and see what's over there. And then dashboard, again, very similar to the dashboard in the mobile app. We have the ability to we have clone and drafts in the web app at the moment, which we don't currently have. So if you want to create a listing but not publish it just yet, you can go ahead and create a listing, save it as a draft, and then publish it when you're ready to actually list it publicly. In the mobile app, if you create a listing, it'll be instantly available. So there's no draft setting as yet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So what's coming next? We're going to be leaving AirsoftTrader up and running for a period of time. That might be a month, 2, 3 months, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to leave the site open, but we've just stopped new listings and relisting of items. So there's been nothing new on AirsoftTrader. Essentially the idea here is that, if you have an account and there's some reason you need to go back into it, such as looking at messages, for example, you have the ability to do that, and that ability is going to be there for a while. So we have no immediate plans to close down the current site, but we will be setting up some redirects and prompting with pop-ups and stuff on the site when you come to the site, hey, we've moved, here's the new details, get it here, kind of thing. So just be aware that AirsoftTrader will no longer be used for new sales of Airsoft stuff. With TradeSoft itself, our next steps, we do have a roadmap. So some of the roadmap functionality has already been worked on, but we want to have to share profiles and listings. These pages are public, so the web app, some of it's private, some of it's not. There are pages like your listing page will be public to a point, but to access or view some of the information on the listing page, they need to be logged in. Same with your club pages and events and stuff like that. There will be some features or some parts of the elements that are public, and some will need an account so you can actually view all the details. Now the app, mobile and web app is all restricted to New Zealand and Australia, so anyone outside those regions can't access it. But yeah, so we have got a roadmap. Some of these features are already in here, like the club directory and ratings. But we're adding more stuff into the app as we go. And again, the feature requests area is also something where you guys can contribute ideas and suggestions and things you want to see in the app. And if it fits with the goal of what we're trying to achieve with TradeSoft, then we'll certainly consider things and maybe potentially looking at adding those in as well. And then we also have a Reddit community. So in the bottom of the dashboard here, we've got our social media. If you go to the Reddit, if you have any issues that aren't account issues, if you have account issues, email us at help@tradesoft.app. If you have just general things you want to feedback that don't count as feature requests, use our Reddit community. It's going to be the easiest way to do that. There is one mobile app issue that I'm aware of at the moment, which I'm going to be looking at fixing. But again, just because of how long it takes for the app stores to review, I didn't want to release a new build until this one was approved, and then a bunch of new stuff's coming in the next build. But if you leave the mobile app open in the background, let's say you leave it overnight, and the next morning you come up, open it, it won't connect to the system, so it won't know listings and you won't be able to view your profile like that. That's fine. Just close the app, close it from the background, and reopen it, and everything works straight away. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I just thought it'd be better to show you guys what we've got coming, or what's already available, and so you guys can get started. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully see TradeSoft be the next evolution of AirsoftTrader, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens over the next few years with the community. So again, thanks a lot for your time. Have a great day.